Hello, Carl from CWD. Just turned up at the pond, well, the build that we're doing in Walsall. There's a concrete pad with slabs on top, so that's ideal really. That's what you want, something nice and solid level base. That's what we asked for. So yeah, I reckon it'll be a couple of hours. I've not got my watch on, so I'm going to have to use my phone. But it's 20 past 10 now. I'm going to get all the timber in and get building it. So yeah, let's see how long it takes. Right, so we've got all the timber in now. We've got tools and stuff. So it's time to get the first level started. Before we start that, I thought I'd show you what we recommend you use. We use a dual impact driver, a brushless photo one. We find this to be really good. It is really good, but when you come to these bigger ones, some of them, this is the high powered one, there is a lower powered version. It just takes a bit slower getting these long bolts in. So for that, got this beast. You can see there's a bit of a difference there. So that's an impact wrench. It's a lot more powerful, and I'll show you how much faster it puts the screws in. Absolutely chews through the batteries, but if you've got enough batteries and you're not in a mad rush, either way, you know, use this. You can go and have your lunch faster while your batteries charge. With this, it might take a bit longer with the long screws, but there's not that many going in this anyway. So we're going to start off with, I'll show you the first level being set up and how we begin it all. So as you can see, so as you can see, this is ever so slightly leaning in this way, so you want to close this gap at the bottom and the top. And if you look from this side, that needs moving over there. But if I do that, then the bottom's out. So what you want to do, match up the top so it's level every which way. This is a bit of a rock in that timber, it's moving ever so slightly. Don't know if you can see that in the video, where that's moving ever so slightly. So what we do is you get screws in the end here, and that stabilises everything, and then when you put the next level on, nothing's going to move. So I'll show you how we do that now. So in the corners we use the smaller screws because they just need to go in. They need to go in this far. If we use the bigger ones, it just causes too much hassle. So there's no benefit to doing that really. So don't worry about what's going on at the bottom for now, just put the top screw most of the way in. And get it in a bit, get the top bit level, make sure nothing's going to move, and just screw that in. Right, I can go a bit further. What we want to do, you can see this line here, we want to get rid of that. So use the DeWalt hammer. Whack that into place and then get your second screw. And then you can whack this one further. Now not all of these are going to countersink because you're going into the end grain here, but if you just get them in as far as you can, it'll look better. So I'm just going to go around and do that on all four corners on this level. So that's the first level. Stabilise with all these screws. So all you do now is lay the second level on. We just do the opposite of the first, so you alternate it here. We'll set the camera up there. you just need to go around again and get the screws in the end. You've got two levels screwed together, but they're kind of independent from each other. So this is where we get the big screws. Now you need to make sure you've got one in each corner, but remember you're going to be hitting these screws potentially, so just offset it a little bit. Make sure you're not going straight down into the other screws. And I'll show you how far down the screws go. They go down like that, a couple of inches, 2 or 3 inches into the lower piece. We don't use any rebar or anything, we just use lots of these screws. They're really sturdy. If you use enough of them, it's going to be strong enough. We've got ponds that are 5 years old, built the same way, bigger than this, and we've had no issues with them bowing or anything like that. So yeah, as long as you're on a solid level base that drains, the wood won't prematurely rot either. So do what this customer's done, do it properly, and your pond will last a good while. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the screws in the top. It'll take me a while because these take ages to go in. Around here is going to be exposed. This is where your window is going to go. So just make sure that if you are putting screws here, that they're evenly spaced so it doesn't look a bit strange. So when it comes to this piece, what I like to do normally is put the window pieces either side so I can see what it looks like, and then just get 2 or 3 screws evenly spaced in the middle. But yeah, I'll do that as a time lapse. it comes to installing your window on this style of pond, there's the glass. You'll have a small piece of timber in there. I'll normally say window sits on me. Just get level on one side. You want to set it, measure from the top of where your coping's going to be, and set that as the top, so your glass just sticks slightly above here. Then your glass simply sits on there, so I'll get one screw in there, spirit level on it, get it level, screw it on the other side, and then 3 more in the middle. That's normally plenty. And then you get 3 blobs of sealant on here, and then the glass goes on, and you get a clamp either side to hold it in place. And then after that, it's time for the underlay and the liner. So obviously we use my Pond MS300. You just need a few blobs. You don't have to go crazy with it, it's just holding it on the wall once it goes off. And then you always stick a spirit level on the top. Make sure. There we go. Windows in. Pond is done. Customer wants to put decking coping on, so we're going to leave them to do the coping planks. So yeah, all we've got to do is just notch out round here, let the sealant go off, give it a good 24 hours before filling up, and then once they've filled it up, then they can put the coping on. Because the water will push the liner up like this, it'll give you a nice clean edge. Whereas if you put the coping on now, it'll be like this, it'll all bubble up, it doesn't look as good. So yeah, put your copings on once your water's in, leave it for a couple of days, just as a leak test, make sure everything's okay. So yeah, all I do around the window is put sealant on the glass and then push the liner onto it, and that gives a watertight seal that has worked 100% of the time. Never had a failure with it this way. So we have had a failure the other way, so if you want to do it the other way, feel free to, but don't call complain if it goes wrong. So if you do want anything building, let us know. If there's demand there for it, we'll try and sort it. So yeah, see you next time.